People come to you that know you. People come to you because they don't want to be taken advantage of. And you're grateful for that, and you don't want to take advantage of them. But here's what I want you to be reminded of. I do want you to be taken advantage of. I do want you to take advantage of them. Don't take it personal. And we've all heard that phrase before, man. Don't take it personal. And recently I was rereading A Winner's Guide to Negotiating by Molly Fletcher. And she was one of the top sports agents. She's got a great podcast now that I urge you to check out. But there's a section in her book that is titled "Don't Take It Personal." And, obviously the book's about negotiating. So there are many times when in negotiating with someone that you do take it personal. I've taken things personally before. I've blown deals because I took things too personally. So what ended up happening was working with customers. Either they made me a lowball offer, so I took it personal and I blew them out of the water. Or they were just kind of one of those bully customers, who came in and just tried to steamroll me, took it personal, blew the deal. Or maybe I was jiving with one of the family members, but then Uncle Jed walks up. He's got nothing to do with this deal, and he comes in just hurling insults and everything like that. Doesn't even like the name brand that I'm selling. And so I blew the whole deal out of there. I've taken things personally before. And so that section that she's talking about actually deals with how to not take things personally when you have situations like that. But I want to, as I always do, man, I want to twist it up a little bit. Don't take it personal when it comes to dealing with friends and family members. See, one of the toughest things to do is to sell to your friends and family, or sell to someone that you're super close to. And many times we take it personally. We do take it personal. And I've blown deals on that too, man. I've blown deals before because I took it personal. And so instead of really working that from a business relationship, what I did is I took the friendship for granted. I didn't treat them as a new customer would be, and I didn't do those same things, and I took it personal, and they ended up buying somewhere else. It's because I took it personal. So what I want to talk about is not to take things personal, because I have salespeople that contact me and say, Marsh, look, how do you sell to someone that you're close to? How do you sell to someone that you're friends with? And so I want to use Molly's book. I call her Coach. I want to use Coach Fletcher's book, man, as kind of a framework, but instead of taking it personal in the sense of that aggravating customer, don't take it personal when you're dealing with someone that you know and you're very close to. So selling to someone that you're close to is tough, because you've already developed a personal relationship outside of what you do every day for a living. So, dude, you've partied together, y'all have been at each other's wedding, you've seen their kids grow up, you babysit their kids, they babysit yours, y'all vacation together, whatever. You have all this personal relationship. A lot of that is built up and has established that trust. And then, so when they come in to see you, man, it becomes a little bit tough. It becomes a little bit blurry. And so you sometimes get caught up in the personal side of it, and you don't provide a service for them. And so this is what I want to help you with, man, is to help you recalibrate. Because people come to you that know you. People come to you because they don't want to be taken advantage of. And you're grateful for that, and you don't want to take advantage of them. But here's what I want you to be reminded of. I do want you to be taken advantage of. I do want you to take advantage of them. It's just in a different context. See, being taken advantage of, and taking advantage of someone you know and love is a good thing if it's in the right context. Because what you're doing is you're taking advantage of the trust that you guys have developed for many, many years. You have earned that trust. So it is an absolute privilege that they come and want you to provide a service for them. So take advantage of that. Y'all take advantage of one another. That's what y'all are there to do, so that it's mutually beneficial for both parties. All right? So the first thing is, never, ever, ever take advantage of a relationship. Kind of goes without saying, but I do want to be reminded of that. Never put a deal in front of a relationship. It's always relationship first. Look, if we don't even make a deal, we still have a relationship. No matter what, we still have a relationship. So you never do anything that could negatively impact your relationship on that. Goes without saying, but I want to preface that with number one. Shouldn't even be number one, shouldn't even be brought up, but I want to bring that up anyway. Number two, this is so important. It's process first, personal second. Process over personal. Your friends came to you because they trust you. Goes without saying. If they didn't trust you, number one, y'all probably wouldn't be friends. You'd just be a random person. But your friends came to you because they do trust you. But they're also coming to you so that now you can provide a service. They didn't come to you just for some friendly advice. They came to you because they need some professional service. And so it's always process over personal. Meaning when they step into the arena of wanting to look at a product or service that you have to see that, and you have to say process first, personal second. Meaning I have to hit the marks when I'm working with customers. You have to treat your customers, you have to treat your friends as if they're new customers. You do, man. Because I've blown deals like that before because I did not hit the marks of my process. What questions would I ask my friend? What questions would I ask them if this was my first time meeting them? You would ask them questions that were pertaining to the product or service that you have to offer. Process first, personal second. And many times, man, I've messed up because what I've done is I've thrown the keys to them and said, hey, man, drive it, see what you think. But I didn't determine their needs. I didn't determine what would be most beneficial for them. I didn't show just because they've ridden in one of my vehicles before, because I sell cars, just because they've ridden with me before does not mean that they know everything about it. They don't. I'm the professional specialist here, man. I'm the professional. They came for professional service, so why am I treating them like, a homeboy hookup? No, they trust you, but they need you to provide a professional service that they would get from someone else. It's just they're coming to you because they trust you to provide the professional service with a personal touch. But see, it's professional service, personal touch that's infused with that, but it's always process over personal, man. I had a detective friend of mine, and he used to always say, his daughter would talk to him, and she would say things that were against the law, right? And so, but they were sitting in the living room, she's just messing with him, and so she would sit there and say different things and go back and forth. And he would turn to her and say, you remember one thing. He said, I'm a cop first, I'm your daddy second. He said, because see, I have a duty. He has a duty. That's what he was sworn into. He has a duty to provide that service as a cop first, dad second. So he's going to do what he has to do, and then he'll be a dad second, and whatever happens from here. But first thing is, he's going to follow the law. See, it's your duty as a salesperson. It's your duty as a professional to provide a professional service to your friends. So remember, man, your professional first is process first, followed up with the personal service, the personal touch. All right, number three. Let me tell you the difference between a new customer, and a friend. Difference between a new customer and a friend, the only difference is you've already developed that relationship. You've already developed that trust. See, when a new customer comes in, you have to establish some sort of common ground. You have to establish some sort of connection, develop some trust all throughout the way. But see, your new customer did not come there because they were looking for a friend. They came there because they were looking for a professional service or the product that you have to offer. And you knew that going into it. See, sometimes we emotionally forget to step out of the arena, and we don't have the maturity to step outside and realize that my friend came here for a professional service. That's what you got to provide. So going into it, you knew that new customer was there for a service, and you fulfilled that service. And so what happened is it was the product, it was the service that you offer, peppered in with personal touches, right? And so as that develops, as that trust develops, then they do business with you. That trust is already earned when a friend comes in to see you. So you can work more efficiently now on providing a personal, on the professional service. That's what you can focus on now. That part is already earned. So now you can work on the other part of, what is it that I have that is going to best fit this person? You have to sometimes treat the whole scenario. And this is the maturity part. You've got to be able to treat the scenario as a new customer. Hitting the marks. Process first, personal second. So hitting that different mark. One thing you have to understand, if you try to buy it and sell it, and sometimes that's what we do as friends, being the professionals, we try to buy it and sell it. When you try to do both, you end up with zero. You don't end up with either thing. You can't buy it, nor can you sell it. And so what happens is you blur the lines. You don't really hit the marks. You don't give them professional service. You stay in character. The Marsh that you see that's drinking a Bud Light by the campfire, man, is different than the Marsh that you see when I'm providing a professional service, because I take what I do very seriously. Just like athletes on the field, man. Off the field, they may be friends. They may go, turn up at some club somewhere. But when they're on the court, man, they're in a different character. You have to flip the hats, man. You have to go into a different character in the sense that absolutely you know them. Absolutely you love them, you trust them, and they love and trust you. But first and foremost, man, for what they're here for right now is a professional service. And I got to provide that for them. Number fourth thing is, and this comes from Fletcher, it's all about the numbers and details. Numbers and details, numbers and details, numbers and details, numbers and details. You have to remind yourself of that. When you're negotiating, it's about the numbers and the details. It's a professional service. Again, I'm going to beat that into your brain, but it's a professional service, numbers and details. So when you're negotiating, it's about the numbers. What numbers are mutually beneficial for both parties? And what are the details that help facilitate, that help glue that whole thing together? I've seen, and I've done it, and I've seen it, where sometimes what we do is we take our personal relationship for granted, and we really don't even give them the benefit of even making the choice themselves. So sometimes what we'll do is, nah, man, you don't want this. Nah, this is if you would tell that to a personal friend, then you should tell that to a new customer too. That means that you don't believe in it. That means that you do not believe in whatever it is that you're repping. So really, shame on you on that. So, but I've seen times before where what we think of is we think we know what our customer / friend needs. And so we try to buy it and sell it, man. It's about the numbers and details. You present the numbers, you present the options, you present all of the different ways of looking at it, and you let them make the decision from there. Because you laid those things out there, because you've established that trust a long time ago, it's a little bit more fluid. It's a little easier in the sense of what I present. But dude, it comes down to the numbers and details. What are the numbers? What are the details? So sometimes when you feel that you're kind of getting too close to the flames, where you're kind of getting sucked in there, then you've got to remind yourself, you've got to have that emotional maturity that Fletcher talks about, where what you've got to do is, she negotiated with agents that she knew very well. They were friends, but when it came down to negotiating for both parties, then hey, it's the numbers and details. We don't have to beat each other up here. It's something that can be mutually exclusive or mutually beneficial for both parties. But dude, at the end of the day, it's about the numbers and details and the professional service and product that I can provide for you. Fifth thing, your customers will, your friends now who are now customers, they will gladly pay, man. They will gladly pay you a profit. Let me tell you something, dude. Your friends would not be friends very long if they had to foot the bill on every time y'all hung out together. I mean, every time y'all went out to eat, they had to pay the bill. Every time y'all took a vacation, they had to pay for the flight, the rental car, the hotel. If every time you need a new pair of shoes and they had to buy them for you, y'all wouldn't be friends very long. I know y'all are thick as mud, man. But I can tell you this, is they would not be friends with you long if they had to foot the bill. So your friends absolutely know that and will gladly pay you a profit. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I will gladly pay my friends a profit. As long as they provide me a professional service, I go to my friends because I trust them. The biggest thing why people sometimes hesitate about buying is why? I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if you're going to even be here. What a unique advantage that you have when you're selling to someone that you already know. They know where to find you. They know they can trust you. They know how much you love your business. I mean, they've sat around drinking beer with you, man. And y'all have talked about those things. You've talked about, they've seen you from ground zero when you had nothing. And 5 years later, man, how well you're doing. And bro, let me tell you something. Your customers / friends will gladly pay you a profit. They will gladly support you. They came to support you. But first, man, provide them a professional service for God's sakes. And they'll support that. It's all about the personal relationship, man. It is. But when they step in and when your friends show up, or even returning customers for that matter, it's always, if you're going to remember anything, man, it's always process first, personal second. Process first, personal second. Because my customers trust me. My friends trust me. And so now they need a level of professionalism that I won't do anything wrong to betray that trust. And I'll do everything I possibly can to make sure I give them the highest level of professional service with a quality product for years to enjoy, that we can all enjoy because, hey, you're my friend. I'm going to be hanging out with you. So keep this in mind, man.